I'd like to call upon the subconscious.
We're here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Are you able to please do a body scan and tell me what is happening for her body?
She is feeling some tightness around her diaphragm.
What's going on there for her?
She needs to take deeper breaths. She finds herself holding her breath quite often.
Why does she hold her breath?
It's a nervous reaction first when she's at work. Sometimes the energy coming through her is a bit strong, and so she holds her breath, and it doesn't flow as well as it could. And it tightens up her diaphragm.
And so is the energy she calling in through?
The healing energy, yes.
Mm-hmm. And so when she's feeling this next time, what would you like her to do?
Take some nice, slow, deep breaths and think about the energy freely flowing through her body.
Mm. And how will her body
help?
Right. And how will that help her body, and how will it help her clients?
She won't release any anxiety energy out or any holding energy, and it'll help her clients relax into the healing state, into a deeper healing state.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can we ask for all the times that she did send out anxious energy accidentally? Can we heal that and remove that, given that there is no such thing as time?
Yes, yes, yes.
And how will her clients now benefit from that?
They're all benefiting from it in this moment. They're all feeling more relaxed. It's all, that energy is melting away from them as it melts away from Lindsay.
Wonderful. Could you tell me more about the energy she is calling in for her clients? Is this getting more? How can you help me understand what she does for her clients in this energy field?
Yes, she calls in her clients' teams before each session she does. And she calls us in as well to help. And that's a lot of energy coming in. She needs to be able to meditate every evening to be able to incorporate this energy and put it out in a very healing manner for her clients. She went through a period of time where she wasn't meditating and she wasn't releasing any density. And she has been meditating recently again, and that has been helping a lot. And her clients are feeling it too.
Is there a significant purpose of why she stopped meditating for that period of time?
She just quit doing it. It got out of habit in the evening for her. And we didn't help her to release any density. We wanted her to do it on her own. She collected a lot of density. She was a very dirty sponge. And then when she did finally realize she needed to meditate, when she sat down that first time to meditation, we made it so impactful for her that she would notice such a big difference that she would not want to never meditate again.
Oh, that's a big lesson for her then.
Yes. And she has been doing very well since then.
Well, thank
Her
you.
energy is up and she is feeling so much better. And she is a much clearer conduit of healing, loving energy.
Tell me about the significance of moving forward with her clients and the energy that she can harness. What would you like me to know about this? Is this increasing the level of energy, or is she already open to the full amount?
She is open to a lot not quite the full amount. She will work up to that point if she keeps meditating in the evening and releasing the density and calling in the high vibrational healing energy. She will attain the full amount. But at this point, it would be a bit too much for her. And that's where the anxiety can come in with her tight diaphragm. It's just a bit too much.
Amazing. And so great confirmation that she is a great conduit of energy. And as we all know, when we want to be of service, we must honor ourselves to be able to honor it all. So, I mean, I love that reminder. It is so good. So thank you so much. Out of curiosity, what do you sense is going on for, say, the common client she has? What's going on for the average human at the moment as they are experiencing this new range of energy that's been shared?
Some are incredibly oblivious to the new energies coming in. Others can sense it, but they can't put their finger on what it is. And so what is the significance of the energy? What's actually happening? It's healing for them. It's helping people feel connected to their teams, and it's helping them with their motivation to do their inner work so that they can release and they can heal and they can move on from this planet. I hear some people label that energy as the new earth energy or the fifth dimensional energy. What would you like me to understand about that? Yes. It's an energy that people love. The people that can sense it, they love it. They feel it feels good and they want to go towards that. It's kind of like an insect going towards the light. But the others that can't feel it at all, they're totally oblivious to it. They can't sense anything is happening. So what do they sense happening when they, say, go to Lindsay for a session? What are they wanting her to fix for them? Lindsay absorbs a lot of their heaviness, their density. They leave feeling lighter, but they create the density again. So they keep coming back to Lindsay. One of Lindsay's questions is how can she be better? What is the advice you would like her to know about being better? We would like her to offer QHHT and BQH sessions because that's going to offer clients true healing. Whereas instead, when they come to see her for acupuncture, she helps, but then they don't do the inner work, or they don't learn the lessons. They don't realize what is causing their problems. And the connection to their teams will help them learn what is actually causing their health issues or their emotional issues or any issues that they have. There's so many times during an acupuncture treatment when they're talking to Lindsay just keeps on thinking how much better a session would help give them the answers. So we would like her to offer that. How would you like her to approach it and introduce them to the concept of such sessions? She can talk to them about it. She's talked to a few clients. We've been giving her signs. Some of her clients have actually spoken about doing hypnotherapy for their issues. And that's always a sign. And the fact that they already know her and trust her would make them fantastic clients to be guided into that. Yes. I love that for her. She knows that you've guided her to also do a course where she can do the sessions online. Yes. She wants to know, how can she improve? She needs to be able to ask questions that she feels are nosy or deems they might not feel comfortable asking. Yes. She shies away from questions like that. Yeah. And she needs to have the courage to ask those questions to clients, because that's where the deep corners of people's healing is. They need to look at those areas. And Lindsay is a trustworthy person. She's not nosy. She's just trying to get this out so that they can hear it for themselves, and then they can do the inner work to heal that part.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
So
we have to investigate. And
yes.
and so even though it feels very personal and prying, it's a great point. And I mean, her agenda and motives are to help, not
Yes. Yes.
I understand it. And that
Yeah.
is, and then is there anything else you'd like her to know to be able to improve?
She needs to keep up with her own inner work
Mm-hmm.
and her own meditations. That is number one. She needs to do that. And she needs to drop a hobby. She is too busy.
Drop a hobby. Which one of her hobbies is it? Is it running? Does she run?
No, she doesn't run. She picked up sewing, and it's fun to be creative for her, but it's too much energy. It's too much when she could be helping with this shift better. She came here to help with the shift, and she really needs to focus more on that rather than the fun things.
And seems to be a problem for many who are here to be of service. They want to use their free will to do the fun things, and yet the life contract is a bit of a chore.
Yeah, and it's getting to crunch time. We need people to really focus on their life contracts. We want to wrap it up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Indeed. And so, from your perspective, subconscious, what can you tell us about how things are going to wrap it up here?
They're going at a slow pace, much slower than we had anticipated. Many are not willing to look at themselves. Many are willing to judge and look at others, but not themselves. And many are willing to do the fun things like sewing or the hobbies or even drinking too much, but they're not willing to look at themselves. So we really need to give people experiences where they can look at themselves. And they're very challenging experiences, but it's encouraging people to look at themselves.
Well, it's a great time to be triggered into looking into oneself. Can we ask for more experiences to trigger those people to have that opportunity to grow?
Yes. Yes.
What is that going to look like for some people?
It will look like broken machines for people that like to sew, sprained ankles for people that like to run too much, things that inhibit the things that you're spending their time doing. And then they can look themselves. Broken TVs for people that watch too much TVs.
And so it's really to force them to go within and
Yeah.
In terms of Lindsay's meditations, is this helping her ground, or what would you like her to know about that?
Yes, it's helping her ground. She has been incorporating the white light meditation aspects of it in her meditation. She puts the pyramid around herself and she invites others into the pyramid and helps ground that energy. Sometimes it goes out to the whole planet when she's feeling very, very high vibrational in that healing state. Other times it's just for her or her family or her community. But it's very grounding.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. She was wondering about the smell that she is noticing in different places and locations. What can you tell me about the smell she is aware of?
We've given her the opportunity to smell density. So when she smells that smell, there is density around that she could help clear. And so when she smells that, we would like her to ground that density into the ground and release high vibrational loving energy and replace with that density energy.
Is this a consistent smell that other people could recognize if they asked as well, to be notified if there is an area of density that needs to be healed and released and cleared?
Others have had this upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay doesn't know anybody. When she
Mm-hmm.
talks about the smell, nobody else can smell it. It's just her.
Could you describe to me what that smell is like?
Turpentine came to mind.
Mm-hmm. Because she was sort of saying it's a chemical burnt. So
Yes.
oh.
It's like, it's not a pleasant smell for her.
Is
Lindsay
the
loves beautiful aromatics. That's why she grows orchids, and she loves the smell of them, and she just loves a beautiful divine smell. And so this is motivation for her because she does not like the smell.
Yeah, stark. And so the turpentine is a reminder to clean.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you. I do appreciate her knowing that now. And is there anything you would like her to know about her son to be able to support him?
He is such a little shining light. He's such a happy little boy. Lindsay could do more fun things with him. She has been doing more fun things with him lately. She tends to do more chores with him, and that's not as fun for him. But she could do more fun things with him, and that would make him very happy.
What are the fun things that he loves to do the most?
He loves to go to the park. He loves to do art. He loves to build Lego. He loves going to the pool and to the climbing gym. There's lots of options.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like her to know today, subconscious, that you know is important for her?
She's doing a good job with supporting him and supporting Kyle. She's doing a good job.
Wonderful. Is there any other information you know she needs to hear?
We love that she is back on track.
Was there a positive purpose when she wasn't on track? I'm trying to see.
Yes, it was a positive learning experience for her. She got very, very overtired when she was full of that density and the heaviness. She could barely hold it together. And she wasn't doing very well with her clients, and she wasn't helping her family as well either. And it was such a big learning lesson for her that she never wants to feel that way. So she keeps up with her practices for herself. There's no wishy-washiness about it for her. She knows she needs to keep up with it again. It's a very good motivation. We want to use the word fear, that she doesn't want to, she's fearful of getting into that place again if she doesn't keep up with her practices.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, great lessons. Yes. And could it be said that those around her possibly noticed? Were they able to give her more support, or how did they view this when she was that dirty little sponge?
It was interesting. Kyle was there with her. It was the worst in December. And Kyle was there with her. And then when she started meditating and releasing that density and starting to be high vibrational, Kyle got very agitated. And then during Lizzie's meditations in the evening, she started releasing Kyle's density as well. She's putting the pyramid around him. And he has come around. He is a much happier person. So they were both in that dense state. And then when Lindsay released it, Kyle got very agitated with her high vibration.
What collective is he a part of?
He is Pleiadian. He has spent many lifetimes on this planet, and he is having a hard time. He subconsciously knows that this is his last lifetime here, and he's having a hard time with releasing, knowing that He has been a very integral part of this planet.
Hmm. Okay. And is there anything else you'd like her to know about him?
She's doing the right things. He puts a lot of pressure on her when he gets in those negative states for her to bring him up, but he can do it himself.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to learn how to do it himself better.
How would you like her to encourage and give him the epiphanies for him to be able to do this better?
She can ask for it for him. And she's doing the right things. She's there for him in some ways that he needs it, but other ways not. And that's good for him to trigger him to heal and grow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. Is there anything else you would like Lindsay to know? I'm sure she probably has quite a few questions about the state of the world and how things are moving forward. What has she been asking you that you would like her to have clarification on today?
She has been wondering about her purpose. And she is a conduit for many other soul essences. And they're all just enjoying the ride with her. They're seeing what it's like to live in this 3D planet during its end times.
Mm. Thank you. Out of curiosity, I was wanting to understand if she's ever had any different timeline branches. I don't even know the right term to say it, but has her life journey experience of being Lindsay had any alterations in terms of a timeline?
Yes. When she was a teen, she had a full walk-in, a higher vibrational version of herself. And that was a timeline break, because the path that she was on wasn't going into a positive place. She had a lot of self-loathing, and we didn't see her getting out of that. And so she needed the full walk-in to release that and become who she is today. So that was a big branch for her.
Mm-hmm. And so that was just a higher version of her soul essence.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fascinating. Okay. And is that how we are to understand different? So her original timeline projection was going to be her growing, but it didn't quite work out like that. So then the timeline branch occurred with the walk-in. Is that how I'm supposed to understand it?
For her, it did. That's how it happened. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
There's
I have heard that before.
There are countless ways timelines can break and change, fluctuate.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating. Um, it's just extraordinary to me to understand all of this, and I know for every individual, it's all different. I find it fascinating. Subconscious, out of curiosity, is there any summary or is there anything you would like me to understand about the concept of time and time branches?
We're showing Lindsay bubbles. And so when we think of time, it's linear. But even when Lindsay thinks of timeline branches, it's still linear. It's a jump from one place to another. But it's like a 3D bubble. It's not linear at all. If one person is at one point on the bubble, they can timeline jump to any other point on that bubble, which connects to many other bubbles, which are other timelines. Some people are on bigger bubble timeline jumps, and they need to experience more experiences before this planet ends. Lindsay's noticed that some people look like they are aging so much faster. And that's because they are on a bigger bubble of timeline. So they are getting more experiences. And then when They meet up with Lindsay, say it's a client and she hasn't seen them for a few months, but they look like they've aged 5 years. It's because they have spent 5 years of experience, even though it's only been a couple months for Lindsay. Much has happened to them, for them, in that time.
And even though they feel like it's only been the 3 months or so, they have just had so much packed into their days that it does.
Exactly.
I see.
Yes.
Does this have anything to do also with, say, inoculations by any chance, or is it?
Thought that, and yes, there is an association, but it's not a hard and fast rule.
Yeah, fascinating. Is there anything else we can understand about the timeline that we are in potentially? Is all timelines going to merge?
They will at some point. When this planet ends, when everybody is taken off this planet. So when a person exits, that's the end of their timeline. But the timeline of this planet continues to continue on. And there are many little timelines, many bubbles of timelines. Every person is almost on their own timeline, which is taking an incredible amount of energy from their teams and everybody helping. It's not just 1 or 2 timeline breaks. It's everybody is on their own timeline, because we need everybody to experience what they need to experience before this planet ends.
In a sense of percentages, we have the official, when we search Google, how many people are on this planet. In reality, what percentage is really here walking this earth, given the compared to the actual official number of the population at the moment?
47.
37 or 47?
47.
Okay.
That's the number that came to mind.
Okay.
47.
Okay. So lots less than we assume.
Yes. Nothing, almost nothing that humanity has been told is true. And the exuberant number that people believe, amount of people on here, it gives people fear about not enough. And that's what part of the control system as well.
What is going on with the actual egg shortage? I'm curious to ask.
Many of the eggs are grown conventionally, and less souls want to come in to experience that life of a chicken that has had such a terrible life and just bred to lay eggs and live in a tiny little cage. But not many souls want to come and experience that now. And so there are many less conventional eggs available to people.
I definitely understand that. Yes, absolutely. Is this going to motivate people to get their own bunch of chickens, or what? I don't know what a herd of chickens. What is what is the saying there?
Yes, flocks.
Yes.
Yes, many people are wanting to get chickens and just be more self-sustaining because of the cost of food and because of the cost of everything else. This is a method for people to empower themselves. It's they're not reliant on somebody else to feed them, and they can create the food for themselves. They can garden and grow eggs. Eggs are wonderful sources of protein for themselves. And that's helping people empower themselves. The last show on this earth is all about people empowering themselves. That's what we want people to do, is to empower themselves.
I love that. And I can appreciate when people have this awareness of lack and things being short of supply, that does motivate them very much. Even if they're not egg people, they suddenly want to be egg people.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that you see or can help us empower humanity?
Empowerment is, on some levels, it's such an individual and personal experience. The birthing process is can be such an empowering process, but many are fed so much fear that they just give their power away. And then babies come in with that energy, fear rather than empowerment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Could it be said, though, when we have had and been disempowered, that does motivate us at some point to drive more self-empowerment for ourselves?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's like with the egg shortage.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
empowering people to grow their own food, and the food shortage too,
Mm-hmm.
the gas shortage, petrol shortage.
Mm-hmm. What do you see as the motivation? Is there any other purpose for the gas shortage?
It's helping to bring awareness to the planet as well. It's so easy to just go fill up your car and continue on your way. But when there's a shortage, they have to think, where does that actually come from? Where is it? It's actually coming from our planet. It's a fuel coming from our planet, and it's bringing awareness to where they live, and it's bringing a deeper connection to their planet.
I guess it's about making people notice all their routines and behaviors.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. And is there any other information that you would like me to know today?
The books are wonderful. People are getting so much out of it. Telling people to take it in bite-sized pieces is good, because then they think that they haven't been doing well if they can't take it in bite-sized pieces. But if they know they can do it in bite-sized pieces, paragraphs or even sentences at a time, and then process that. It's so easy when people listen to the sessions. There's a lot of energy there, but they get into almost a state, almost a meditative state, that the information can go in one ear and right out the other ear. Whereas when they're sitting and actually reading the content, it can go in one ear and out the other, but there's more focus on the words. And so if they know that they can read a sentence and digest it and then move on to the next sentence, that is perfect for them.
Thank you. Little nibble sizes.
Nibble sizes.
Yes. Fantastic. I love that. Well, thank you very much for the confirmation. Do appreciate that. And in terms of Lindsay's body, how will she feel now after this session?
Oh, she feels so much more relaxed. Her diaphragm is totally released, and she feels the tingles and the energy flowing through her. She feels very good.
Oh, that spa treatment is delicious.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much for allowing her to have these beautiful lessons and experiences. And I know, subconscious, you are going to be drawing many of her clients and people that need her energy and her expertise and skill sets and love and compassion towards her for this fantastic experience in our timeline bubbles.
Yes. Yes. That will happen for her.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.